What happened while we were away, brought to you by the Internal Repatriation Service.
88,000 new workers to go after you, and we're in the process of developing a plan to either terminate all of them or maybe we'll move them to the border.
Donald Trump, echoing his previous words, is looking to deputize Internal Revenue Service agents to take on and assist with illegal immigration enforcement efforts, according to a senior official with the Department of Homeland Security in a letter to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, requesting that the IRS provide agents to be used for immigration enforcement efforts by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The senior DHS official told Fox News the expectation is that the request will be approved. So the IRS will not only be solely focused on extracting every nickel from your bank account, they're actually going to be arresting illegals ostensibly. Nevertheless, I asked Grok to draw a picture of an IRS agent arresting a criminal, and all Grok spat out were IRS agents putting handcuffs on themselves. That's not a joke. I'm not making that up. Border Czar Tom Homan joined Attorney General Pam Bondi in putting would-be leakers of ICE deportation operations on notice.
We're sending a strong message. It's just not, giving the bad guys a heads up so they can escape apprehension. Right? We're arresting, giving, the Venezuela gang a heads up so we can't arrest them. You're putting officers' lives at risk. It's only a matter of time if we walk into a place where there's going to be a bad guy doesn't care. He's going to be sitting and wait for the officers to show up and ambush them. This is not a game. So DHS and DOJ are connected at hip to hold these people responsible in a criminal fashion.
During Donald Trump's pre-Super Bowl interview, which was released in its entirety yesterday, Fox News' Brett Baer asked the president about his Veep.
Do you view Vice President J.D. Vance as your successor, the Republican nominee in 2028?
No, but he's very capable. I mean, I don't think that I think you have a lot of very capable people. So far, I think he's doing a fantastic job. It's too early. We're just starting.
Check this out from that CBS YouGov poll of Trump's approval rating. Amongst boomers, he has a 50-50 approval rating, plus 12 with Gen Xers, plus 4 with millennials, and a plus 10 approval rating with Zoomers. Apparently a bunch of youths have woken up from the Matrix. Attorneys general from 17 states are now looking to bypass the Biden pardon and prosecute Anthony Fauci at a state level. Those states are Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. All states looking to bypass the Biden pardon and bring state charges against Anthony Fauci. Pretty much a total victory in Florida for Ron DeSantis, as his office, along with leaders in the Florida legislature, announced yesterday they've reached a deal on a strong immigration enforcement bill. It's pretty much about 90% of what the governor was originally asking for, and he will retain his emergency immigration enforcement powers.
Talking about this issue for years and years and years. Now we have a mandate. We got to deliver on that mandate, and the state of Florida is doing all it can to be great partners with the federal government in this very important national initiative.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has renamed Fort Liberty back to its original name, Fort Bragg. Here's the catch, though. There's a law on the books prohibiting the naming of federal military installations after Confederate generals. So Hegseth is naming Fort Bragg after Private First Class Roland L. Bragg, a World War II hero who earned the Silver Star and Purple Heart for his exceptional courage during the Battle of the Bulge. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty creative masterstroke way of getting around that stupid aforementioned law. Also this week, Hegseth canceled all meatball surgeries in the name of gender for service members of the military, paid for, of course, by U.S. taxpayers. According to Axios, hot damn, the FBI, after 60 years, just tripped all over themselves and found 2,400 documents related to the assassination of JFK. The still secret records are contained in 14,000 pages of documents the FBI found in a review triggered by President Donald Trump's January 23rd executive order demanding the release of all JFK assassination records. Man, that's just a stroke of luck. 2,400 documents, 14,000 pages, all just lying around for 60 years. Nobody knew about them. Learning Chinese today. Today's phrase is, we were all born yesterday.
我们都是昨天出生的.
Check out this story. I'm just going to read the headline from the New Hampshire Journal. AI vegan trans murder cult suspect pleads not guilty in Vermont border agent shooting. The suspect in the death of Vermont Customs and Border Patrol agent David C. Mayland pleaded not guilty on Friday, the latest plot point in a story involving a bizarre AI vegan transgender cult linked to 6 killings across the U.S. A reputed member of the Ziz cult, Teresa Youngblood's alleged murder of Mayland is just the latest violent incident in the story of the fringe sect, with its belief that an AI monster bent on torturing all non-vegans is coming to pass soon. Speaking of people who need Jesus, Russell Brand invited onto his podcast that OnlyFans harlot who went viral not that long ago for allegedly breaking the record of number of men slept with in a day. Here's a clip of that interview. And this OnlyFans woman is not blameless nor a victim, but this is heartbreaking to hear nonetheless.
You are a child of God. That's what I want to say to you, that you are special and that you are sacred and you deserve to be cherished and treasured in every aspect of your life. Do you know that about yourself, that you are special?
I guess I don't think of myself as special, just another girl. I'm not religious or anything like that, so I don't really read into it.
One day you will read into it, Lily. I want you to know that there is a path for you and that you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And I know you aren't doing anything you don't want to do. But if ever you find yourself in that position, then know that there is a path and a light for you.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Good on Russell Brand for apparently being the only person in her life to ever speak words of truth like that to her. And finally, this. Is your Congress struggling to get anything done? Have they shown difficulty performing advanced functions of their jobs like walking and talking? Congressional dysfunction, or CD, is a serious condition that affects legislators, especially in their twilight years. But did you know CD can also affect all legislators, regardless of age? Has your Congress shown signs of CD? Persistent inability to pass legislation, even in the presence of clear public demand? Prolonged periods of inactivity despite urgent national needs? Occasional but ineffective bursts of activity leading to no significant outcome? Dying of old age while in office? If this sounds like your Congress, Terma Limitus is here to help. Terma Limitus isn't a Band-Aid. It targets the root cause of congressional dysfunction, Congress itself. Terma Limitus active ingredient Rotadium helps promote political freshness by encouraging natural cycles of government, extracting current members of Congress by force and replacing them with literally anyone else. This discourages and in some clinical studies eliminates chronic congressional dysfunction. Side effects of Terma Limitus are known to impact members of Congress: ego deflation, dysentery, career purgatory once leaving office, typhoid fever, influence withdrawal. Long-term exposure to Terma Limitus can result in acute cases of humility. Ask your voters if Terma Limitus is right for Congress. Terma Limitus, making politicians expire before their promises due. And that's what happened while we were away.